Classmates, good morning, Sir Marmelo. So my report for today is all about the UML as a design notion. So basically, UML is familiar na po tayo sa lahat since under our graduate study, undergrad natin po sa college, nag-develop na po tayo ng UMLs, definitely on the technical background po ng ating documents. So next po is, and so ito po yung contents ng aking lesson. So modeling notation. So discuss ko yung about sa modeling notation. Then we're gonna define what is UML. So why do we use UML? So the primary goals in the design of the UML, structures and behaviors, and the standard UML diagrams. Since marami pong UML diagrams or types of UML diagrams, I'm going to discuss the common na ginagamit natin sa the diagrams. Okay po. So first of all, I'm going to explain what is a modeling. So hindi po ito yung modeling na naglalakad or ano. A modeling is a foundation of all engineering disciplines. So models are improved communications and understanding about why the system is needed. So what its functionality should be and how it should be implemented. So based on these diagrams na meron tayo, requirements of course from the users, okay, or the owner ng ating pagde-developan ng software. So kinukuha natin siya or ginagather natin yung mga requirements na needed para masagot natin why the system is needed. Okay po. Next, after the gathering of all the information or para sa pagluluto yung mga ingredients na kailangan natin, i-prepare na natin siya. So pagka-prepare natin, magde-design tayo ng software. Doon na rin tayo magko-coding. So pag inelaborate kasi natin to under to ng mga ng SDLC, software development life cycle. So dito sa modeling na to, mabilis lang siya para mas ma-visualize natin ano yung magiging functionality ng ating software na dinedevelop. Okay? Then after that, since natapos na natin yung development, paano natin siya ano yung implementation ng hardware and software. Okay po. Then pag na-fulfill natin yung para ma-fulfill natin yung needs ng owner and user. So ito po yung yung nagmo-modeling tayo. Kaya UML siya. Okay po. Next, a modeling engineering spiral. So mas detailed po dito versus dun sa kanina. So this model spiral shows from the domain requirements. So from the start up to the end hanggang na-deploy yung software. So kung mapapansin natin dito dun sa domain models, nandun yung structure ng software na ginagawa natin. So kasi yung sa structure ng software natin, meron tayong mga design na UI and yung doon sa loob yung mga codings na gagawin natin. So kaya mamaya i-discuss ko yung structure and behavior. Okay po. So from the model, from the domain, ito yung mga needs ng ating domain. So i-model natin siya dito sa next part. Then after that, i-develop na tayo ng system models. Sa domain models, dito tayo gumagawa din ng mga database design, yung mga database design, okay po, yung mga forms. Then saka tayo magmo-model ng software. Then pag nagawa na siya, or na-meet na natin yung customer needs, usually deploy na natin siya. So, para makapag-create tayo ng quality software. Okay, next po. Visual documents. Software models are like artifacts like mechanical design, electrical schemata, and blueprints. So parang ganito tayo pag nag-develop ng software. Ako pag nag-develop ako ng software, minsan drawing ko siya sa paper muna or sa whiteboard. Yung mga forms na kailangan natin, objects, tools, etc. Doon po muna ako nag-drawing para ma-visualize ko kung ano yung magiging output ng software based dun sa requirements na binigay ng ating kliyente. So, in the business process naman, visual modeling a business process, it is a simple business process wherein meron siyang customer, from the customer, no, paano siya nakakapag-order. Ito po. Place order, then move to sales representative. After the fulfillment of the order or transaction, mag-shipment na siya na item, then papunta dun sa customer. This is a simple visual modeling process para mas mabilis lang natin makita kung paano nagpo-process yung isang business. Okay po. Pero iba-iba po yan, depende po yan sa gusto ng kliyente. So, what is a UML? So, UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. So, a standard in the industrial standard OMG notation. So, an industrial standard OMG notation, object management groups. So, these object management groups are consortium of industries and interested universities. It produces a specification of reference architectures. So parang isa siya sa mga standard na ginagamit sa industry. Okay po. So inadapt niya po yung UML. So model a business in its roles and processes. Write requirements of the software system, describe its software architecture, state the structure and behavior of the software artifact. In this part, kasi yung mga nauna po talaga, this is parang usual talaga na kailangan nating gawin. Ngayon, dito na tayo medyo critical on the structure and behavior. So, dun sa structure and behavior na I'm going to discuss later on, is medyo critical na part yan kasi dyan tayo yung internal part ng software. Then, paano siya nag-behave? Let's say, pag nag-click tayo ng button na to, ano yung execution nito? Let's say, kung halimbawa CRUD operation siya, create ba, update, or delete? Yung po yung simple visualization ng structure and the behavior. Then document a software application, then generate automatically an implementation. So, move forward, why we use UML? Bakit natin yung UML? So, hindi lang po siya normally part ng document. Okay? So, as the strategic value of software increases for many companies, the industry looks for techniques to automate the production of software and to improve quality and reduce cost and time to market. Since technological age na tayo ngayon, kailangan ng mga company ay mas better yung kanilang mga services, okay, and mga transaction na pinoprocess through the help of these softwares na dinidevelop, whether it is web-based ba yan or web applications or mga desktop applications lang siya. Still, kailangan kailangan ng those companies or industries mag-provide ng mga softwares para ma-expedite yung kanilang business. Okay. These techniques includes component technology, visual programming, patterns, and frameworks. Businesses also seek techniques to manage the complexity of the system as they increase in scope and scale. So, pagdating po sa mga companies and industries, more on complex softwares na yung ginagamit nila dyan. Kasi mas malakihan na po yung transaction at mas marami na po silang data na pinaprocess. In short, it will help those industries and companies to provide the software quality without sacrificing too much resource. But it will develop a quality software which can improve to manage their businesses process and provide quality and efficient services to its client. So ganoon naman talaga po yung mga companies na kailangan nilang magtipid or i-maximize nila yung mga resources nila na need, okay, to produce a better quality services to its clients. So these are the goals in designing a UML. Number one, provides users with ready-to-use expressive visual modeling language so they can develop and exchange meaningful models. Usually, ang gumagawa ng mga ganito is yung development team. Okay po, yung project management team. Under niyan yung mga nagde-develop ng software. So usually mga analyst yung naggagawa po nito para sila yung nagpa-plan para ma-visualize nila kung ano ba talaga yung gamitin, ano ba yung mga kailangan natin sa software na gagamitin. So magkano sila ng mga models, may mga database models na ginagawa, may mga use case, ayan po. So to provide extensively and specialization mechanisms to extend the core concepts. So kailangan i-maximize na natin yung core concepts ng ating ano. So halimbawa, nagbigay ka ng isang software na gagawin. So i-extend na natin yung ating core concepts para mas effective yung and efficient yung software na gagawin. Be independent of particular programming language and development process. For me, regardless on the programming language na gagamitin natin, as long as it's nami-meet niya yung user's requirement, walang kaso po yun. Halimbawa, gagawa ka ng enrollment system. So regardless kung anong programming language yung gagamitin, as long as alam mo kung web-based ba siya or ano lang siya, LAN-based na yung gagamitin nyo or nandun lang sa loob ng school. Okay po. So kasi ngayon ang talagang sikat is yung mga web-based na kasi nga para na-access siya sa buong na-access siya without kasi bawal na po yung face to face eh. So mas effective yung mga software ngayon na mga web-based systems lalo yung sa times ng portability. Kasi kahit phone pwede siyang gumana as long as may web browser ka. Next, provide a formal basis for understanding the modeling language. Okay. Number 5, encourage the growth of the OO tools market or the object-oriented. Okay. Support higher level development concepts such as collaboration frameworks, patterns, and components. Then last is the integrate the best practices. So ito po yung mga ginagamit natin ngayon sa industry. So next po is the structure. The UML focus into aspects in designing a software. So the two is the structure and behavior. As we can see in these figures below, Eiffel Tower, which will represent as the structure. So mapapansin structure yung Eiffel Tower. Then the G Bala Dinamismo di Can Alguin Zaglio 1912, which means the dynamism of a dog on a leash. So this is the behavior kapag yung dog ay nandun sa niya. So ito po yung amo yung nandito sa tapat na to. Then this is the dog. So nung binabasa ko kahapon yan, parang ano ba tong language na to? So siya, Italian. Okay po. So nag-represent siya as the behavior. So next po natin, ito po yung sample na nagre-represent ng plan details of a structure. So mapapansin natin yan dyan yung mga sukat, ano yung mga mechanical parts na gagamitin. So in software, ganyan din po siya. So next is discuss which ways do you know pictorially describes behaviors or actions. Behaviors yung actions na ginagawa ng software o yung executions based dun sa functionality na meron tayo. Usually, ang mga functionality ng mga software ay nangyayari sa mga buttons, no? Doon tayo nagki-click, yung click event na tinatawag. No? Pag nag-click ka ng button, ito yung behavior. Ano yung execution niya? Okay? Usually, nag-enter tayo. Okay? So, flowchart represents the behavior, no? Nung isang software. So dito tayo nagpa-plan ano yung mga mangyayari dun sa software natin. So this is the process in short. No? So next, are structures and behaviors all we need for software design? Yes, kailangan natin yan. Kailangan natin siya in software design. Why? Kasi parang nag-design ka ng bahay, kailangan mong malaman yung internal structure ng bahay para malaman natin kung matibay ba or pulido yung materyales na ginamit natin. Just like the softwares. Kailangan malaman natin yung internal design ng softwares, like yung mga forms na gagamitin, yung UI design ng forms na gagamitin, yung database design, kung ayos na ba siya, hindi ba magkakaroon ng mga redundancies, so on and so forth. Sino yung mga users na gagamit, well-versed ba yung mga users na gagamit sa software, because kailangan nating maging ang software is user-friendly para mas madaling gamitin ng users at hindi na natin kailangan ng mahabang user training. Okay po? So for example, magde-design tayo ng isang chess game program. So it could be a standalone, client server, or agent-based, etc. Its behavior should be coherent with the rules of chess. So of course, if we design a chess game program, so from a nahahawakan natin siya, gagawin natin siyang soft na lang siya, software, no? Na nag-enjoy tayo. Pero based pa rin yan dun sa rules ng chess. So what is its goal? To play and win a chess game against the opponent. So pwede tayo mag-create ng ganito na using AI siya. Halimbawa, pwede rin multiplayer, okay, na chess game. Pero yung mga rules pa rin ng chess should be implemented. So this is its function. So doon na nangyayari yung functionality ng chess game. So aralin natin yung mga moves ng chess. Okay? Paano yun bawa yung mga pieces ng chess, yung rook, bishop, etc. Kung ano yung mga moves nila sa real life chess game, i-apply natin yan dun sa ating chess game program. So the very same chess program with identical structure and behavior could be used with a different functions. Yes. Okay, pwede tayong gumamit ng mas complex pa dyan na mapoprovide pa rin natin yung same chess game na ginagamit natin in a real life. For instance, could it be used to learn to play chess? Of course, pwede tayong, yung mga chess games natin, pwede tayong magkaroon ng mga tinatawag nating guides. Okay, mga guides po or mga moves. Pag ginalo mo, ano yung mangyayari. So, pwedeng i-ano doon sa program. Or write a chess book like a chess game editor. So, maraming mga factors na pwede nating gamitin. Or to play a game of losers, where the winner, if he who is checkmate. So, yun yan, pwede tayo magkaroon ng mga, halimbawa, artificial intelligence, or pwede natin lagyan ng mga level yung chess game from easy, intermediate, and advanced. So, move forward, functions, a system software is designed with some functional requirements. So usually, ito talaga yung mga pinaka-importante lalo sa evaluation ng software, which is the functionality. So how do software functions? UML has a specific diagrams for this. So may mga use cases. Kung mapapansin natin dito, naka-segregate na siya. When the use cases is the interaction between the user and the system. Process description, overview, process goals, participants, and collaboration. This is the function. Okay. Interaction diagrams, behavior of core business elements in process. So, nandito na tayo sa internal process nung ating kasi 'di ba, meron tayong may dalawang klaseng process eh. Yung isang process which is dun sa external, which is pag bumili ako, ito yung process. Meron din yung internal process, ano yung nangyayari sa loob ng business. Okay? Kasi hindi naman nakikita yan ng client eh. Ang nakikita lang or ng customer. Ang nakikita lang niyan yung mga mga business owners. Okay? State diagrams, life cycle of core system elements and in process. So this is the behavior. Okay? Class diagrams, basic business elements and their relationship. Development diagrams, actual structure of the final system. So, doon sa taas, this is the design. So, dito ka pala na-visualize. Dito sa baba is the runtime. Ito na yung naka-deploy na siya. Okay po. So, next natin. So, ito yung, what are the types of UML diagrams? So, these are the types of the UML diagrams. So, this is 1 to 9, wherein yung mga naka-asterisk po yung mga usual na ginagamit natin. Ito po yung kadalasan nating nilalagay sa mga document. Depende po doon sa format ng documentation. Okay po. Sa amin sa senior high, ang inaano namin sa mga students namin is the the use case. Of course, number one is the use case diagram, the activity diagram. Okay. Class diagram, more usual sa college na po yun in-implement namin. Okay po. So, move forward na po tayo sa ano. So, modeling a requirements in UML. Use case diagram. So, ito yung first at ito yung para sa akin, ito yung pinakamadali. Okay? Describes the main user stakeholders. Okay? Kung sino yung mga usual na gagamit ng software. Describes the external observable behavior of system functions usually define the system requirements. Describe the interaction between the system and external entities, including users and other systems. So these are the structure. No? Okay, sa UML diagram classification, pag structured diagrams yung gagawin natin, ito po yung mga types like the class, component, deployment, and the package. Pag behavioral diagrams, itong mga nasa baba. Use case, sequence, collaboration, state, and activity. So magbibigay, i-discuss ko po yung ilan dito later. So the first one is the use case. So ito yung isa sa pinaka-common na ginagamit at parang feeling ko ito yung mas pinakamadali sa lahat ng mga diagrams na pwede nating gamitin. So we're in yung tao dito considered as the actor. These lines are called association and the box na to is the system boundary. Ibig sabihin hanggang dyan lang yung scope ng software. Then, etong mga oblongs na to, this are the use case. Usually, that is the modules under your system. So, yan. Actors represent a role played by external entities. So, usually, that is the human na gumagamit ng software. Let's say, pag sa POS, ito yung cashier. Okay, meron din silang mga supervisors, other users, and of course, the administrator. Okay po. The use case describes what the system does. So the functionality. Scenario sequence of interaction between the actors and the system. So ano yung mga modules na na-access ng actors? Okay. Relationship, association between the actors and the use cases. So for katulad niya kanina, balik natin. Sa student, ang na-access niya is nakakapag-register siya ng grade. Nakakapag-register siya. So, pwede siya maglagay ng mga information sa dyan. Kung ano man module, kung ano man UI design to, still nag-collect siya. So, nag-register siya. Like username, password, pangalan, etc. Then, the students can also check grades, which includes to validate the user. So, pag mag-validate tayo ng user, of course, meron niyang logins. Magla-login yung estudyante sa software natin dito sa system boundary, no? Para ma-validate ng software if existing ba yung account ng student na yun. Okay po? So, extension or generalization among actors, dependencies among the includes and the extends. So, ito po. Ito yung isang simpleng use case diagram. Okay? Wherein meron tayong different types of users. Okay? Meron tayong user lang, meron tayong estudyante, and the faculty. So, ang access ng user doon sa software na yun is the register. So si student, it can check grades. So includes validate users. Same as the faculty, okay, pwedeng, ito yung get roster, ibig sabihin ito yung master list. Kung ilan yung mga estudyante niya, ito na yung subject na tinuturo niya. Okay, then it can extend, no, na mag-enter siya ng grades dun sa mga nakalagay dun sa roster. After the entering ng grades ni faculty, includes to validate the user kung existing ba yung estudyante na yon dun sa kanyang class list. Then the students can check its grade. So this is just an example of a use case. So pag malaki ang software, mas marami na po siya. Kung mas marami yung mga users, mas marami yung actors. Next is the class diagram. In software engineering, a class diagram in the UML is a type of static structured diagram. So nandito na tayo sa internal. Okay. Yung behavior kasi, yun yung hindi nakikita nung gumagamit ng software. Yung structure, ito yung mga nakikita nung gumagawa ng software. Okay. That describes the structure of a system by showing them system classes, their attributes, operations, or yung tinatawag natin methods, and the relationship among the objects. So, what is the purpose of the, what we call this, class diagrams? Show static structure of classifiers in a system. Number two, diagrams provide a basic notation for other structure diagrams prescribed by the UML. It is helpful for developers and other team members too. So, dito pa lang sa part na po na to, nandun siya sa, dito sa number 3, nasa developer side po yan. Hindi po, since it was a structure. So, business analyst can use class diagrams to model systems from a business perspective. A UML class diagrams is made up of a set of classes, a relationship between those classes. So, ito po yung class notation. So, ito po yung parts ng class notation. Number 1 is the class name. So, ano yung ipapangalan natin sa class na yon? For example, class grades or class register. Depende kung ano po yung paggagamitan natin. So, in the example, nakalagay po dito is my class. Usually, pag OOP talaga, ito po yung usual na ginagamit. Kahit sa kahit procedural programming, like say VB.NET programming, meron din silang ginagamit na na public class. Okay, let's say public class form 1. Okay. Then meron siyang private sub button 1. So yung object pag kinlik natin, so yung private sub button 1. So class attributes, okay, attributes are shown in the second partition. So ito yung mga attributes na meron doon. So the attribute type is shown after a colon. Attributes maps onto member variables and data members in the code. So ang attributes natin, ito yung in, float, circle, which is related siya dito sa, parang ang mangyayari dito is gagawa siya ng circle. It's either the area of the circle. Okay? Class operation and methods. So mapapansin natin may mga parameters na siya dito. Operation shows in the third partition, they are the services the class provides. The return type of a method is shown after a colon at the end of the method signature. The return type of the method parameters is shown after the colon following the parameter name. Operation map onto class method is method in code. So ito yung mga parameters na meron tayo. Okay? Kasi usually kapag tatawagin natin yung class na yon, okay, kailangan niya ng return type. Okay po. So the graphical representation of the class, my class as shown above. So meron siyang 3 attributes and 3 operations na pwede natin gamitin. May parameters P3 of option 2 is type of int. So pwedeng int, pwedeng float. Okay, return sa pointer denote by A to a class 6. So ito yung pangalan.
Tapos,
Next po natin is the activity diagram. So, ito naman sa behavior ulit. So, activity diagram are graphical representation of workflows. So, parang step by step ito kung ano yung activity na gagawin ng user based dun sa target system at yung complex business rules and operations. So, describing the use case also the business process. In UML, activity diagrams are intended model both computational and organizational process. So this is an example of a activity diagram.
major differences. Okay.
So dito yung precondition, the actor's input, and the system step. So para siya di siyang flowchart, pero ito yung mga nakalagay dito is this step-by-step process. Meron din siya diamond na conditions. Okay, para basic flowchart din yung itsura niya. Although may mga nadagdag tayo na ibang mga entities dito. So, example, okay, pag gumagamit tayo ng word processor,
Okay.
open the word processor package. So, ito yung step 1 na usual na ginagamit natin. Then we're gonna create a file, save file under the unique name within its directory. So, ano ba yung type ng document na gagamitin natin? So, sa mga word processor ngayon, pwede tayo mag-save na as PDF or mababang versions ng what we call this ng word processor. Okay po. Tapos may questions na siya dyan. Yan, may if statement. If graphics are necessary, open the graphics package and create the graphics. And paste the graphics into the document. So, ito po siya. If spreadsheet is necessary, open a spreadsheet package, create a spreadsheet and paste into the document. So, ito yung mga conditions na pwede niyang hindi gawin or pwede niyang gawin. Okay? Depende po kung ano yung magiging rule. Then, after that, save file, print the hard copy, then exit the workflow. So, ito po yung example ng activity diagram using a word processor.
Okay. What else?
Ito na po yung references ko.
Also,
Thank you for listening. Keep safe and God bless everyone.
Online, you will see this, like example.
Okay na po. Salamat po.
These are available. These templates are available. Business, presentation, it depends on sa category ng gusto nyo. Budget. Okay. So, happiness, meron din. Okay, available din yan. Doon sa mga templates.
Sir, okay na po. Thank you po.